Seismic changes are underway in the world of insurance, and the industry is more complex than ever. As a thought leader, what you say makes all the difference. Your voice deserves an exclusive platform, a place where prominent thinkers are inventing the future. That place is insurancethoughtleadership.com, and our mission is to serve world-class thought leaders. ITL is an invitation-only community of acclaimed experts that is becoming the fastest-growing network of insurance intelligence on the planet, and we want you to join our premier digital publishing platform. It will provide you with extraordinary reach to share your knowledge, disrupt conventional thinking, build your brand, accelerate your business, and expand your influence. This is ITL. Welcome to the conversation.
Guy has launched 13 startups, holds 3 patents, and currently sits on 3 advisory boards. Guy's insurance clients span the US, Korea, India, and Europe. Collectively, his client companies have generated a combined ROI of over $200 million through the creation of new products, entering new markets, embracing new business models, and participating in venture capital investments. Help me welcome Guy Fraker.
Thank you, Nick. I have to, one of the great things about coming to a conference like this is you get to write your own intro, and then somebody with this kind of credibility reads it. It's a lot of fun. I'm going to throw a lot of information at you in a very short amount of time, and in the hopes of being passionately kind, rawly honest, and provocative, and realizing we're going to have 30, 45 minutes for Q&A. Maria is a tough act to follow, and before I go any further, can we please help me give it up one more time for Nick, right? I work with a lot of regulators, state and federal, more on transportation than anything else, but often just in the space of innovation. I'll put this way, I'm not going to take your picture. And I will tell you, there are not many that have the commitment and wisdom and foresight to what's coming, which is a perfect lead-in for my comments, than your friend here in Iowa, who has represented the state so well and is representing the industry so well. So I am very proud to be here. And my undergraduate degree is in history. I was raised by a historian who then became an attorney and then went back to being a historian. In the history of the modern corporation, I don't think there is any industry, other than maybe the buggy whip, that is on the edge of an unprecedented level of disruption. The insurance industry is being attacked or improved or modified or affected by more exponential technologies than any other single industry in history. That's a bold comment. But from human genome to preventative medicine to what we do during our day job, self-driving cars, to artificial intelligence and big data, and it was brought up in the keynote today at lunch. The insurance industry is really at the precipice of this 360-degree disruption. Now, before anybody looks for a window to jump out of, this is a tremendous opportunity, and that, if you get nothing else from my comments, it is that. This is an opportunity for companies that have not been in a leadership position to lead. This is an opportunity for companies who want to have a different future than their past. There is more opportunity than threat, but it's going to be a question of will. The opportunity here is to accept and embrace disruption from within before you are disrupted from the outside, because avoiding disruption is a dream. Let me put it to you this way. I was lucky enough to participate in a meeting out in Silicon Valley with Insurance Thought Leadership and Andreessen Horowitz. And a partner from Andreessen Horowitz started out the conversation by saying, "You do realize we get about 1,000 business plans a month in insurance." and financial services. And here's the question we always start with. Can existing firms innovate faster than a startup can distribute or gain traction? And of course, the answer 99% of the time is no, but that doesn't mean it's a law of nature. You think about the escalation and growth of venture capital and new forms of capital in the marketplace, considering 90% of the business plans that they receive to invest in are doomed to fail, and the answer is still 99% of the time, existing firms cannot innovate faster than a startup. Any actuary would tell you the odds are working against anybody that's actively involved in a 50 to 100-year-old insurance company. Let me let you know a little secret. The last great societal shift in transportation took place in the turn of the century, and it was enabled by the insurance industry without data. It was not the car, it was the assembly line. Then you had the advent of consumer credit, and you had the advent of auto insurance, and the car went viral. One of the greatest shifts in society. Not only is the insurance industry's fundamental role to be the cleanup crew for unintended consequence, but the insurance industry enables economies, enables industries. And that's why, like Maria, I bet on the existing companies. My day job is an innovation coach. I see companies out-innovate startups, or just buy them. Either way, you understand something that fundamentally no startup can understand: scale. It's the biggest challenge facing a startup, and that's where your opportunity is. Now, the question and the analogy, so when most often put to me when I go meet with an executive crew, is take this oil tanker and tell me how to make it behave more like a what? Speedboat. And I look at them and say, with all due respect and apologies, I have a very easy answer to your question. You don't. You can't do it. You don't defy the law of physics. You're never going to make an oil tanker turn like a speedboat. But I'll tell you what you can do, and it's better. You can take your oil tanker and convert it into an aircraft carrier. It adapts to the environment it's in. It's constantly interacting with the environment around it. It's looking out on the horizon. It's launching assets and bringing them back. It always wins, and it's such a force on the sea that it doesn't have to turn unless it damn well wants to. That's what you want to be. A company that sets the rules for everybody else to follow because you can out-innovate them. Now, most of you, and you're here, so we're preaching to the choir. This is a friendly audience. But so many of you are sitting back going, wait a minute, we're going from legacy to digital. We're making this digital transformation. We're changing our distribution system. We can't, we'll call you when we're done. Don't make that mistake. You're already involved in disrupting yourself from within. Take the plunge. Because the opportunity to catch up isn't going to be there. Innovation is too often seen as a what if. Too often seen as sunk cost. Let's learn. There's this weird schizophrenic existence that exists in the insurance industry, which is not that much different than a masochist who's trying to help the insurance industry be innovative. But it is, on the one hand, if we pretend this isn't happening, it won't happen. There's this kind of almost arrogant self-confidence, which is understandable. But then on the other hand, there's this really deep-rooted level of insecurity. You have to have the will, and for all of the great books and great methodologies and great best practices around innovation, at the end of the day, Choosing to lead through innovation, choosing to use innovation as a growth engine is quite frankly just a question of will. Are you willing to work through whatever is going to come your way to get the job done? And I realize I'm raising a question that messes with many people's legacies. I'm very empathetic to the fact that a lot of folks are losing sleep over this. You have to have confidence that your organization has capabilities or can get them that you don't even know exist. And finally, this willingness to be vulnerable. I don't mean vulnerable in terms of putting the asset base at risk. I mean vulnerable in terms of willing to engage in activities where you're not an expert, but you can gain that expertise. Setting up a systematic, sustainable innovation practice is absolutely achievable by any company that has the will and the leadership support to just get it done. These are times where leadership has to feel inspired and be inspiring. And when you look out on the horizon, if you see horrible turbulence, it's going to be conveyed that way. If you look out and you see this bright sky of opportunity, we can help define it. In this day and age, the question of can we build something, can we do something, the answer is yes. Now, the should we question is yet to be answered or asked in many cases. But what you have is the opportunity to do something tremendous. So, we live in this age of unprecedented growth and capability, declining costs, commoditization, and disruption. Don't think you're not sitting on the next Amazon, Facebook, viral breakthrough. There are going to be new insurance entities and new insurance models. You can be among those who lead. You can leverage these exponential technologies. You can develop that purpose and passion in your workforce. You can ask the most important question and the scariest question that any organization can ask itself, because it's safe to ask. It doesn't mean you have to act. What if? The hardest question for most organizations in the innovation space to ask is, where do we start? And I will tell you, it is the easiest one to answer. Most companies are sitting back saying, how are we going to react to this? The next generation of industry leaders are asking, how do we make it happen faster? It's a mindset, it's a question of will. I promise you the skills are inside your company to become whatever it is the next generation of insurer needs to become. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Guy. That was great. And for those of you in the back, I don't know if you saw Guy's shoes, but I told my wife I want a pair of shoes just like that guy. So I don't think I can pull it off like you, but I'm going to try.